Woo! And we are back with another installment of the number one rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM. I'm your host, Kevin C. Pride. And I got a knockout show for you today. I am sitting in studio with Big Time Promotions. I got Aaron Freeman. I got Aida Biggs. She said, get it right, I'm going to knock you out. And Justin Biggs sitting here with me today. Joining me later in the program for a special edition second hour, we will also be sitting down with Blacks in Tech. I got a lot of friends from Silicon Valley out here today, and they will be stopping by to give us some knowledge and tell us about everything that's going on out there on the West Coast. Whew. So we are back. We had some problems, a few difficulties last week. We got them all straightened out. We are ready to roll. So first of all, we are still racing to read here in the city of Atlanta, and we still need your help. I want you to go to racetoread.org and sign up to help Atlanta become the city that reads. We have officially passed 4 million minutes read here in the city of Atlanta, and we are trying to get to 10 million. So sign up today and help Atlanta reach 10 million minutes of reading. Go to racetoread.org. Very, very simple sign up. Very, very simple process, and we can start recording and tracking your reading and your help in helping us become the city that reads. Also, special shout out to Experience on Demand. Download the app in your app store, Google Play. Do folks do Google Play? Anybody Android? Y'all Android?
No.
I got one.
Don't do it. You can't be Android no more. But no, definitely download the app. It's a great streaming platform. They got magazines, they got music, and they got boxing, they got sports, they got movies, they got stars, they got everything you can think of. And now they have the number one rated business show, and we are officially streaming on the XOD platform. Also, to all my men out there who like to stay looking good and like to stay looking sexy and on top of their game, I want you to go see my personal barber over at Studio 1211. We are located out there in Douglasville, right there on Fevern Road at 6405. You can call ahead and schedule an appointment at 770-485-6772. Ask for Melvin, tell him I sent you, and he might even give you a free lineup. So, welcoming my guest to the show today. How we doing today? Big Time Promotions in the house.
Yes.
Yeah, we good.
We got boxing champion Justin Biggs in the house with us today.
What's up, man? Thank you for having us, man. We appreciate it.
Miss Aida.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right. Miss Aida Biggs in the house with us today.
How you doing?
As well as Mr. Aaron Freeman and the CEO himself is in studio with us.
Yes, sir.
How we doing?
Great, brother. Thank you for having us.
Now, you guys got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to give y'all the whole hour, and we're going to dig all the way into it. First of all, tell me, how long have you guys been in the boxing world?
I'm going to let Justin and Aida start with that one.
Yeah, he started it off, so he can start now.
Well, me, since birth, I just was involved in boxing. My father trained me. It was just like a family way. My brother was a fighter. So, I grew up into it. And then, my sister followed.
Aida get into the boxing world. I keep trying to make sure I get it right.
Right. You got it right. Well, I didn't officially start until I was like 18 years old.
Okay.
But I was always involved in boxing, like from school to the gym, just to watch Justin and my older brother Raymond fight. So my dad would pick us up, take us straight there. So I always, was in the world.
Wow.
But at around 18, Justin moved back home to New York, and I was trying to get ready for senior prom. So, the girl stuff. And I was trying to like get cute, get in shape. I'm like, Justin, I need to, get something going. He's like, well, come to the gym, work out. But I think that he knew that I would fall in love with it anyway. So, which is what happened. And then I just started training, and then I started fighting after that.
Wow. Now, any championships yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? That's all right. We'll get some.
I want to know as a professional. We're on our way.
Well, Mr. Freeman, how long? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit about your background, and tell us how long you've been working with Big Time Promotions.
Well, I've been in boxing like all my life. I've been around it all my life.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, but I come from a family of nightclub owners, Sugar Hill in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And during those times, like I became best friends with Mark Breland, who from the '84 Olympics with Holyfield and all of them. And it's a Brooklyn thing because Mark introduced me to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson introduced me to my who I call my little brother Zab Super Judah.
Wow.
Zab Super Judah's dad is the trainer of the Biggs family. So at the end of the day, it's like the whole thing just came down, and we used to go to all the fights. I can't think of maybe a few fights I missed, but I've been to all the Tyson fights.
Wow.
We traveled together, just supporting each other on that Brooklyn type thing. And
Okay.
so basically, when Yoel Judah came and said, I got this kid who's the next one up in Brooklyn. He's going to be it. Like, this is it. And I said, who is it? He said, Justin Biggs. Just so happens that their dad, God rest his soul, he passed away from cancer, but he used to come to our nightclub.
Okay.
And this is way before I met his three kids. Like, it's Chris, Justin, and Aida. And now, years later, I wind up meeting them through Yoel Judah, training them, and Justin was signed to Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
So his first 5 fights, he was signed to Real Deal Promotions. And then after that, the company was kind of like a little bit in limbo. So I personally was coming on as like a business manager slash advisor. And then after we really sat down and thought about it, his mom, brother, sister,
Mhm.
we all sat in our restaurant and we said, yo, let's put a plan together. And I said, which way you want to go? And Justin was like, I want to be champ. I want to be champ. And I seen a desire. Like, one thing I could say by meeting all of them, we all became family, but you don't have to wonder, are they in the gym? Are they training? Are they playing around? Like,
Okay.
they eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. So starting out as wanting to be the manager, I went from that to a big brother role. Then we went from that to like, hey, let's invest in ourselves. Let's we're not gonna be on TV right now, even though he's been on certain shows, but let's do it ourselves. So at that point, we created Big Time Promotions, named
Okay.
after their last name, just out of respect. And then we came down to Atlanta, got our promoter's license, and then last July,
Mhm.
we started talking about forget everybody else and all these other people. Let's do our own pay-per-view.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
said, let's start our own network. So we joined in with XOD. Shout out to XOD and Experience TV.
Oh yeah.
And we started our own network, BPE Network. And so this was in July when we were speaking. By December 12th, we did our first show, pay-per-view, and it was just amazing. So now BPE Network, Big Time Promotions, we just said we're gonna sign ourselves to our own company.
Okay.
We're gonna totally control the narrative. We're gonna do pay-per-view and we're gonna bring other opportunities to other fighters.
Wow.
So now they have like a lot of people reaching out to them, asking them, can they be signed to Big Time Promotions? And then we set up another company, JSP, Judah
Mhm.
Sports and Promotions, through Yoel Judah, Zab Judah, and we just kept it in the family. So
Mhm.
we're down here for this weekend to do our second show.
Wow. Okay.
And so,
Mhm.
but neither one of them is fighting because they're playing the CEO, COO, and everything else. So
I was wondering who was gonna be in the match. I was wondering who was fighting.
yeah.
Um,
So
it's just a great pride in knowing that sometimes even if you're not like fighting, you still are putting people in position and you're letting them shine and you're giving them a platform, you know. And also just being an athlete, you're not able to fight your whole life. You
Okay.
have to have other things in order, and just with Aaron giving us the opportunity and helping us to get in position where we're doing it at a young age in our 20s, it's kind of an amazing thing, and it's kind of unheard of.
Wow.
You know.
Now what is that life really like for because I mean we've seen the life of athletes,
Mhm.
football players and this type of stuff, but you guys got to be even more in shape than that. So what is that life like, that daily routine, that regimen like for the life of a boxer?
A lot of times, my aunt is one of my trainers alongside with my trainer Yoel Judah Zab's father.
Okay.
So a lot of times it's get up 4 o'clock in the morning, get our first workout in, strength and conditioning, get back up around 10, go for a run, then go to the gym around like.
You said go to the gym then? I thought you was done for the day.
Nah. It's so much that I mean, if you want to be, for me, if I wanted to be average, yeah, I would probably do it one time a day, maybe run or something like that. But I never wanted to be average. Like literally, when I'm working out, I'm training. I think about every negative thought that people probably said to me, and one of my main motivations is like proving people wrong. It's nothing a person can tell me I can't do. Telling me I can't beat someone or I can't do this just motivates me so much more. So
wow.
Well, with training, when it comes to me, is a little different than Justin because I don't know if you can tell, but he's pretty lean. He has that lean muscle. I'm the only one that gets kind of big. So, like, if I'm not training, I'm going to put on, like, if I have a cheeseburger, it's happening.
Heavyweight.
So, like, we're going to heavyweight after that. So, like, it's the training 2-3 times a day, but it's also, like, the dieting and the just maintaining weight for me, which is, like, probably the most difficult part. But, it's all the same stuff.
Now, when you say maintaining, is that keeping it up to a certain level or keeping it down?
Keeping it down. Okay. The miserable side of it. Keeping it up would be no problem for me. But yeah, it's keeping it down and just making sure you stay in shape even when you're like not fighting.
Wow. Yeah. Now who are some I'm sure you follow Layla Ali, right? I'm sure you follow her.
I follow her and I've met her in person too.
Wow.
I met her on Good Day New York.
Okay.
In 2017, and she gave me a little shout out on the show.
Oh,
which was cool. Yeah, she said some nice stuff about me. She says there's a girl backstage. She's a boxer, but you would have never thought. And she was like, I wish I could remember her name. I was like,
Aida. That's beautiful, and I just love that because I got two beautiful little girls at home, and they always talking about I can do the same thing that boys can do.
Yes.
One big thing. What is it like to be a female athlete in boxing?
I think it's a very special side of boxing that you don't really get to see as much.
Okay.
And I think that it's an avenue that is about to be exploited. You know what I mean? Like we haven't seen many women on television. Clarissa Shields has her first pay-per-view fight this weekend, Friday, actually, March 5th. So it's like all the women that are out of the Olympics, all the women that were learning to fight because we are having the opportunity now.
Okay.
We're going to the professionals and we're about to show out. So
go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, Justin, what is it like for you to watch your sister get hit in the ring? Did it make you want to just jump in there and help out?
I don't get hit.
I said you don't
get hit. It's hard, it's hard seeing her, fight and stuff like that. But I just know she's like, to me, she's the baddest, chick on the planet.
Okay.
And I think that she has the potential to make it to like, the Mount Rushmore of female boxing. So it'd be a disservice for me not to put her in position to win. Now let her know like she can be the greatest. Like she, if she put 80% into it, she would be there. So
wow.
It's a great thing to be able to promote her and give her the platform. And people watched her first fight and everything that I said, it was that, and she's a fighter with great skill, incredible punching power. Because a lot of times people kind of go, I don't really watch these girls fight because no one's gonna get knocked out. It's a high probability that somebody is gonna get hurt when she's fighting them. And
wow. He said somebody gonna get hurt.
That's what the Biggs family is about. Like I think me, my younger brother, my older brother, her. To me, it's just like, man, I'm trying to bring the most like violent display that I can every fight, and we go for knockouts, we go for hurting people, we go for putting on those type of performances. If I don't leave the ring with a knockout performance or multiple droppages, and people didn't enjoy themselves, because at the end of the day they could have been anywhere in the world. So if they choose to come and watch one of us perform, I want it to be that type of thing.
Wow. Now, you mentioned Mike Tyson a little bit earlier. One of my favorite sayings from Mike Tyson is, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. What is it like when you're in that boxing ring, the first time you get hit and you're like, oh, this dude might be able to take me?
It's, man, people don't say, like, when you really get clipped, your body like it tells you like to free, like you kind of it tells you to get out of there, you know,
Fight or flight.
oh man, this guy like
Wow.
but you have to really train yourself to go. My thing is this: if you catch me and I'm conscious, like it's okay. I'm gonna be around. I'm not gonna get hit with the same thing again.
Okay.
But if 9 times out of 10, when I catch you, let's see if you able to take it. So that's my thing. I can give it, and I could take it. So that's my mentality with it.
Yeah. When it comes to me, it's more like I always say this. It's like, you always have an opponent to fight, but I never really feel like I'm fighting the opponent. I always feel like I'm fighting myself every time that I'm in. So it's like if I get caught with a shot, it's almost as if I hit myself like stupid. Don't get caught with that
Wow.
again.
Right.
So that's how I kind of see it.
Now, y'all got a pretty big roster of boxers that you're working with. Tell us a little bit about the fight that we got coming up this weekend.
Oh man, I guess I'll start off. Yeah, we got some great fighters on this card. Roberto White, he's a veteran of a lot of fights, very talented. A big fan attraction. So he's gonna be the main event.
Okay.
Uh, we have Showtime
Yeah.
fighting Atlanta native. The kid is amazing fighter of about I think over 100 amateur fights.
Wow.
Does backflips and all kind of cool stuff. He's gonna give you guys an amazing event and just a plethora of fighters that if you're a lot of fighters who will come on our platform and they'll be generally unknown, but mainly to the real core boxing fans. But then
Okay.
after that, like we had one girl from Hawaii that fought, and then her Instagram blew up. She's on the phone with Mike Tyson 30 minutes before the fight.
Wow.
Like the platform has done great things for fighters, um, and that's really the thing that we really pride ourselves on, giving them the opportunity to be seen.
Wow. Well, Mr. Freeman, you
Yes,
mighty
sir.
quiet over there.
No, hey, listen, I'm soaking it all in. I'm a fan. It's family, but I'm a fan, brother. I'm just thankful to be here. I'm just thankful to be here.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, we're gonna take a quick little break. We come back. I want to start to talk about a little bit about the business of boxing. Get into that. What does that look like? The promotions of it. The business side of it, and what do you guys need to be doing to help make money in this industry? We'll be right back after this.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
If you want to be fine, take care of your spine. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
We are back right here on the number one rated business show. I'm your host, KC Pride. I don't think I told y'all that. Y'all know my name.
I know it's K Pride.
I do it all the time. Oh, man.
Everybody knows you, man.
Now, we are want to get into the business of boxing. What is the business side of the boxing world? It's a little bit different than most, typical businesses and this type of stuff. Number one, what's some of the core things if you're thinking about starting like a boxing promotion company, or if you're thinking about starting your own like kind of boxing league or network like you guys have? What are some of those first things that you need to start kind of thinking about? And what are some of those, some of those things that you guys kind of encountered in the beginning?
I would say with us, it came from a position of love because, I mean, we're gonna tell it how it is. Like,
Okay.
boxing is a brutal business. It's a brutal business, and most of the time, promoters don't really care about the boxers.
Wow.
You know, like they just look at them as a figure, a dollar sign. If you winning, you winning. They love you. If you lose, on to the next one.
Okay.
You know. So when this thing came about with us, it came from a standpoint of love, and it also came from a sense of independence. Like, like Justin, I'm sure he's very grateful for Holyfield signing him straight out the Golden Gloves after he won the Golden Gloves and his first 5 fights. But after that, once it was a little dissension in the company, we was like, man, let's do things how we want to do it. So when you're going to start a promotion company or you want to try to manage someone, you have to really put yourself and use empathy, put yourself in their position. They're getting up every day, training, they're sparring, people really trying to take your head off.
Wow.
Like, this is a brutal thing. So if you're going to handle the business, it starts from the top all the way to the bottom and vice versa. Once you get money, how many people have we seen multimillionaires that's now broke?
Oh yeah.
And then that whole thing of the dumb boxer, like, oh, my accountant did it, or this person did it. My manager took my money. See, this is reason why we did our own thing, so we could be responsible and hold each one of us accountable for ourselves. So anybody that joins our team, we're gonna let them know this is how you pay your taxes. When you get this amount, don't go do this. Take care of this first, and then just keep growing, because otherwise you're gonna be in the same position as these other boxers.
Wow.
So
Now that is so powerful because a lot of folks don't even start even talking about taxes. And me personally, I'm a business person. I've been in business for over 10 years, but in the beginning, I wouldn't think about them taxes either until I had to pay them.
Right.
So it's amazing that you guys really, really care about the athletes that much, and y'all really go, that far in with them. What are some of the things that you guys kind of encountered when y'all first started this whole BPE big time promotions that I really want to go out here and start to really take on this boxing industry? What are some of those hurdles that you guys had to start to overcome?
I mean, I've a lot of it was just, trying to let people see your vision.
Okay.
A lot of people are success to them is for especially people of color is I did something well enough that someone of a different race saw me do it and gave me an opportunity. So
Wow.
when you as an African American tell your friend that you trained beside, that you went through things beside, went to tournaments with, and you say, "Yo, I'm doing this thing, and I'm gonna take this chance, and let me help you," it's hard for a lot of people to even fathom that,
Okay.
because they think of when you think of boxing and getting and being successful, you think of, okay, Bob Arum, the Don Kings of the world, the Eddie Hearns.
Wow.
It's getting people's mindset to think of, yo, Justin Biggs,
Get into
Aaron,
believing.
begin to believe in you, Aaron Freeman. Come with me. We're gonna go do something great. We're gonna change the world. We're gonna change the game. They don't understand it,
Wow.
and our rapid growth. Now people visualize it. They see the sold out shows. They see the us being streamed in 15 different countries. So it's now they're like, yo, man, wait, maybe this might really be something. But we're such a, and I don't blame them. Only it's just the position that we're put in, the country that we were placed in. Things like this. It's
true.
always someone else. It's
Right,
always someone else
right.
that has to be the
True.
guy.
Right.
right.
But I joining up with Aaron, his family, they've been in business for 40 years. They're one of the biggest nightclubs in the city, the most, you know,
Longevity.
and seeing
Black owned.
seeing African Americans do that by themselves, no investors. It was an easy choice for me to make and say, yo, show me how to have that type of success. Mentor me in and outside of the ring, because this is not gonna be forever.
That was one of the biggest things that kind of drew me to Atlanta. I've been here now for about 17 years, but coming up from Montgomery, Alabama, with so much, just a lot of racism, not a lot of opportunities and stuff for Black people there. Seeing Atlanta for us was kind of like the Mecca.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see so many folks, just up here doing it, man. Black folks in a great position. So I know exactly what you mean. Because coming up here, being in that type of environment, being around, people of like minds like that, you can't help but increase yourself.
You're right.
Absolutely.
Now, what has the boxing world been like since COVID hit? Is it hindered you guys? Has it kind of slowed up things for you, or?
You know what? We really just been doing our thing, man. Like
Justin, stop being humble. Hey, listen, during this pandemic, we blew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I even tell him, like, stop.
I'm
stop.
looking at him like,
Nah, come on. Listen, a lot of fighters haven't fought in over a year.
Okay.
A year, and if they hadn't fought 6 months before that, it's going on 2 years.
yeah.
We blew up during this pandemic because
We did.
people looked at us like we was crazy.
But that's what happens out of like, like disasters and, people,
That's right.
like, the people who are blessed, they come out kind of on top. So
And we
we've
get
kind of
creative.
we got creative. We kind of been doing our thing.
That was too far gone.
So when y'all say y'all got creative, because y'all got some strict laws up there in New York, Homo had y'all locked down,
we had to
buddy.
get out of there. That's why we here.
That's why we're here. Yeah, that's why we're here. Our first state is Atlanta. We got the promoter's license. That's why we're here.
Right.
All right.
Just as like a young old soul. I'm more of like, man, let's just tell them Aida.
Yeah, let's let
But
them know.
we started this during the pandemic because our nightclub is closed. March made a year. We haven't made one dime at the nightclub in a year. Our restaurant is closed. Now they just let us open at 33%, 35%. Listen, most businesses, need 70% just to pay their bills.
Oh, yeah.
So what are we going to do with 35%?
Right.
Your 30% left after 70 is your profit.
I was just gonna say, I mean, even here, I mean, we lost a lot of business, a lot of black
People
businesses
closed down.
that ended up having to close down. Thank God I wasn't one of them.
Right.
But that had to close down and just not gonna be able to open up. I mean, what do you do in that situation when this is my mainstream of income? This is how we make our money. This is how we pay all our employees. Like, what do you do when you're sitting on top of something like that?
We ate up all our savings. Then my dad looked at us like we was crazy. I said, hey, we're going to launch a network. He said, during the pandemic while we're closed and not making money, I said, Dad, you created me to be this person.
Right.
So I'm not going to sit around like we don't sit around and just, cry. So being that this is closed and we got our savings, we're going to keep paying our mortgages. The banks told us 90 days, no payments. But after that, don't pay your mortgage and see what happens. And we was like, whoa, you're a gangster.
Is that a threat?
They told us April, May, and June, you can have a forbearance. But July 1st, don't pay and see what happens. Even though your tenants aren't paying in your buildings, even though your restaurant nightclub is closed. But this comes from being raised multiple streams of income.
Okay.
Out of all our streams, 80% of them was closed.
Wow.
So we said, yo, let's fight. Let's go fight and let's put our own network. So we invested money to start our network and we did pay-per-view. And so now we started sharing the funds with the fighters, which has never been done before.
Wow.
Unless you're Pacquiao, Mayweather, Cotto, Zab, Judah, Tyson, the other people on the undercard don't get that recognition. We said we're going to open up and we're going to share our funds. If you become a star and you sell tickets, if you get big, Instagram, social media, you can be whoever you want. We're going to give you a percentage of this. So we started doing revenue sharing. And that's what really blew us up. So now, even when you do come out of this pandemic, we're like, we're thankful. Like we're thankful, but we took off.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you guys also you employ some technology into what you guys are doing too, because you guys got an app now, right?
Yes. Yeah, the BP Network app, guys. Download it now and enjoy the fights on Saturday. It's going to be something amazing. Just get with the future, man. We're going to change the sport, change the world, do some great things, and as like what A was saying as well, as basically as the habitat changes, the most dominant species are going to evolve and adapt. So that's just what we do, what we did.
Okay.
And even into the future, we're going to just continue to adapt and change and progress and grow. And that's what we're about.
Now, what are some of the ways, being a boxing company, what are some of the ways that you guys kind of make your money, or what would you see as your products? I know you got your live events, your ticket sales. What are some of the other ways that you can make money in this industry?
It's a lifestyle, but I'll say this. from the boxing, each one of the fighters, Aida, her brother Chris, Justin, all of them are modeling. They
Wow,
all
okay.
models. They all have like certain deals and endorsement deals now. Local businesses, and we endorse ourselves. But like Aida has water companies, all these little
Clothing
girls,
companies.
clothing companies.
Yeah.
Justin Chris is modeling, and he hasn't even turned pro yet.
Nike.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, so this thing turned into definitely a lot of things other than just boxing.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
helped with the whole multiple streams of income type of thing. Like, cause I'm finding myself like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get a check from that. I'm gonna get a check from that. That's gonna be on my shorts. This is gonna be, so it's like, okay, I'm getting money from different places, which is a blessing, and it's an opportunity that a lot of people are not awarded.
Now we saw the whole social media as it came about, this whole movement for everyone to be able to do things a lot more independently come about. We saw it really take over the music game. How has that affected boxing? And I'm hearing already, being able to get these sponsorships by yourself without having to have this big time representation and this type of stuff. But what are some of the other ways that's kind of helped you guys?
I mean, I think there's a lot of Instagram boxers in the sense of people that don't really fight, but they do cool little videos.
Okay.
And
Yeah, tell the truth now. Go ahead.
so you have those guys that people go, hey, this guy is hitting the bag kind of hard. You know this guy? And I'm like, I never seen him in any tournaments, never seen him fight. But from this video, okay. But then I believe that with the platform that we're developing, I think that we're like the pioneers in this.
Okay.
So now we're allowing people to really go, wow, from my social media and people that want to see me, I can get onto this platform and they'll give me a percentage of what I bring in. So we're kind of really the first ones bringing in this kind of system.
Okay.
And we're doing like the reverse. Usually it's, hey, fighter, you get big enough and you do all these fights, you could be a pay-per-view star. A guy will get $3 million, 3 million views from pay-per-view, and they'll make $3 million. So that was like what, $1 for each view. But this is what all these fighters pride themselves on. But starting with us, if you're hot, if you get people to watch you, I really can't tell you how much money you can make off of our platform. It's infinite, and that's the amazing thing about it. And I expect this to happen later on. For more people to adapt this method in this platform.
You see it, you really start to see that come across now, like really, because like almost everybody, all content creators and this type of stuff, everybody's starting to bring out their own streaming networks and this type of stuff. So you're really starting to see that. Have you guys started to catch the attention of some of these bigger boxing promotion companies and the rivals and shit?
We have some. Tell them about
our first fight in December. We had. This is how ironic it is. Evander Holyfield signed Justin straight out the Golden Gloves when he won in the finals. Justin, our first fight in December, Evander Holyfield's son, Evan Holyfield, fought on our card.
Wow.
But he signed to the big promoters, Main Events, and up in New Jersey. Shout out to Main Events, Jolene Mazone, Kathy Duva. They called and said, hey, you guys have a show. At this time, nobody's really fighting anywhere. And here we are in Atlanta putting on a pay-per-view show. So we had Evan Holyfield, trained by Mark Breland.
Shout out to Evan.
And shout out to Evan, Holyfield's 84 Olympic partner, Mark Breland. And he's training the son. And then it's a lot. We're making a lot of noise. And there's a lot of people's like, who? The audacity of these people. Who are they? And we're like, we're going to do it our way.
Wow.
And that's it.
Shout out to Alonzo Butler with
oh yeah, he just got signed to Don King, right?
Don King,
yep. He fought December 12th.
Don King still doing his thing, man.
Don gonna be 90 this year. And we just signed him.
Just spoke to Don. Shout out to Don King.
Is he as bad as the rumors that go out about him? Because he's always had a bad reputation of like screwing boxers over and this type of stuff. Is he really a good guy?
I deal with everybody on my experience with him. And people change. I don't personally know anything about that, but I know he's given us some great fights, some great history, and we just respect him for that. And he's given Alonzo, one of our guys, an opportunity to fight for the world title.
Yep.
And Alonzo gonna go out there, do his thing, win, and then he's gonna fight. The winner of
Yeah, that Trevor fight.
yeah.
You know what it is, brother? Like, even with the music business, people have to realize this. If someone gives you 100,000, they're not giving it to you and not expecting it back. Just like Diddy robbed me, or this one. When you want to fly all your friends first class, you want your mother to have a new house, you want a new car, you want a chain. When you get that first million, they're taking their 700,000 they gave you back.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, they're taking their whatever percentage is back, and that's how you wind up with 100,000 out of a million. Then they're like, "Who the hell is this person? I never took FICA out. FICA, that's the government, brother. So you got to pay them too." So at the end of the day, it's a lot of stories. I mean, but you got to be careful what you ask for, because then you have to pay that back.
Wow.
We have, I come from, as being the age I am and my experiences in life, JJ, $8, they speak a different language than me, and sometimes we kind of act like, yeah, I know that I'm a business guy. Everybody with a idea is not a business person. So, I had to learn from them a whole different language, in order to survive. So that's what they've been teaching me. Now, every day I just learn something incredible about this life. And I intend on, when I get older, doing the same thing for another person under me. Another person that has talent, an athlete, someone, that does whatever, just taking them under our wing and showing them a different way of life.
Wow. It's beautiful.
And I want to say this too, brother, if I can, even though he's not speaking, but Jamon West, JJ, we met him while we was doing BPE, was Bodyguard and Blueface, and Whack 100 from California. All right. And he said, y'all need to meet this guy that works with Disney and ESPN.
Okay. And
we built a brotherhood, and now he's the president of Big Time Promotions.
Wow.
So
come on in here, president.
Hey, come on in, brother. like this is come on here. Tell him what's up, JJ.
How you doing today, man?
Man, so excited to be here with you.
Oh man,
and work with this amazing crew.
They treating you like the camera guy today.
And listen, man, we all play our role, man. That's the amazing thing about us being together. It's all about hard work, dedication. We're chasing greatness, and really creating opportunities for others. And man, he was humble, man. He's the architect of it all. He's definitely our big brother. And really, just a force to be reckoned with, man. So we're here to stay.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, how long have you guys been in this world? You personally?
Well, as I mentioned, man, I've been at ESPN for about 13 years now.
Wow.
Really managing distribution, marketing, ESPN Plus, bringing, new sports and really growing it. And boxing is one of those areas, man, where not only boxing itself, but the lifestyle around boxing, there's a lot of growth with it. And there's a lot of amazing young Black fighters.
Okay.
And, we're doing it our way. We have our own platform, BP Network. Check us out. And we're going to have some amazing content coming your way.
Now, that is kind of one thing that I don't think that has really been explored too tough. I hadn't seen a lot of like reality shows and this type of stuff talking about the life of a boxer and this type of stuff. Y'all gonna do it, right?
We're bringing that. Listen, we have two of the biggest boxing shows that have signed on with us to BP Network. One, Border Wars. They have, people, regular Joes competing, living the life of fighters. That's coming to our network. Actually, next week. March 13th, we'll be live streaming it on BP Network. So guys, watch that, Border Wars on BP Network. And we also have All Call Outs Mandatory.
Yeah.
Wow. Is a show that we have fighters interacting with each other, regardless of promoters of who they're signed to. And, they talk what they talk, uncensored, and then they meet up and then we fight. We go ahead and spar, we get it on. And we have the original video. So we have a lot of original content coming to the network, and we're lucky and blessed to have two of the biggest boxing platforms on there.
We're gonna take a break real quick, and when we come back, we're gonna dig into it. We're gonna also look at this ticket that you guys got coming up this weekend. We'll be right back after this.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
Auto accident, wellness care, slip and fall. We take care of it all. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
And we are back right here on the number one rated business show. Everybody here talking to somebody else. We are back. Once again, you are listening to the number one rated business show right here on Real 1100 AM. I'm sorry, I got so many text messages coming in. That all these folks want to hear from Justin Biggs and Aida Biggs. Samara Poe says she love you guys. I don't know, so please send us a shout out.
Love you too, Samara. We love you too.
Samara Poe. Yeah,
Samara Poe.
Definitely
Thank
come
you
to
for
the
commenting
fight
that.
if you in the area.
Oh yeah. Now
You know?
let's talk about this fight. So, big time fight coming up March 6th. All call outs are mandatory. What's that?
Oh, all calls. Go ahead,
Let's talk show and boxing, man. My man David Flats. I'm telling you, we have the most, just the best up and coming boxers in boxing, calling each other out, you know, and really changing the narrative on setting fights and driving the hype.
We got fights being made on guys coming there expressing themselves about another fighter. You know, there's a lot. Boxing is a very competitive sport. It could be a very bitter sport. You know, you have guys that, you know, if you're interviewing someone that's their peer, they're gonna forget the cameras on and start expressing their real feelings towards other fighters.
Okay.
And sometimes you have a guy that's on TV making millions, but it'll be a guy that's unknown, you know, might have put hands on him in the gym. and this is real stories. I mean, it's multiple guys that maybe did more, have more accolades than me, that I've gotten the best of them in the gym, or I know I can beat them, but we get these guys' voices heard. And, you know, my man Flat has a special talent and ability to get that out of people. So, you know, interview will start with, yeah, man, I sparred so-and-so. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, man, I beat up so-and-so.
It ends with that.
So then we go, okay, so where we meeting at? You know? And then I get the camera, my man Eric, and we get the camera, we set it up. And if a guy shows, we have the original sparring session with no edits. If the guy doesn't show, then we have an episode where you duck the work.
Wow.
You know, so you're forever history books.
I think a lot of boxers haven't had the chance to like have their voices heard because, you know, it's been all through like the promoters and stuff like that. And if they're not messing with you, you're not fighting, you're not talking about it, no one hears it. But with this platform, it's like they get to speak, they get to, you know, get all their frustrations out, all their joys, whichever one, you know, is how they're feeling at that moment. And it's also just like, it's promotion. It's self-promotion without anyone really having to do anything. You can take all these lives and play it back, and now you have this big, you know, fight that everybody's waiting to see, the sparring session, this fight, whatever it is, and it gets the viewers invested in what we're talking about, you know? It's like you know these people now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I actually want to see that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to download the network. Let me see if I can catch one.
We got you. Yeah, it's we launching that soon. The first season is gonna be coming out next month. So we're gonna have a lot of things that went down, and you know, fights every day. You know, when Flat and us were on live, man, fights are made on it could be on ESPN, it could be on Showtime. Guys are making real fights happen, sparring sessions happen. You know, and even other platforms have been copying the show, man. Like
Wow.
Yeah.
doing their own.
That's a beautiful thing. I know it kind of upsets you when you started seeing me, man, he was copying me like that. But no, it's a beautiful thing when folks started to copy.
It's the greatest form of flattery.
It
Love
is.
my haters.
But it's an Elvis. It becomes a little Elvis type of thing, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, dang, you know, but it's cool, you know, because people can't duplicate.
Yeah.
for
Imitation
so
is the
much.
greatest form of flattery, though.
Yeah.
So you know you're on the right track when you have people trying to copy you.
Now let's talk about some of these boxes that y'all got on the ticket. I see. Is it Jaika Pot? I can't say that. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Jaika. Please don't come find me. Fighting against who is this? She's gonna be fighting against. Is she fighting against you?
No, not me.
Who you fighting?
I'm not on this card.
Oh,
I wish I was. But we're gonna be in a promoter seat this time.
okay. I hear you. Now, but you guys got some great boxers on here. Christian Dominguez.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
yeah, Christian. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's nice.
Extremely exciting.
Yeah.
You guys gonna enjoy Christian.
Now, what about Headley Light Scott?
Oh.
Jamaica in the house, brother.
Yeah.
You look like Rick James. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I see.
The light. Yeah. And he's got people streaming from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. His last fight when we did December, Jamaica tuned in, brother.
Wow. Okay.
He's a beast, man. Action-packed fighter, comes at you. You know, he ain't there to look pretty, but that man's gonna put on a great show, and he's gonna try to, you know.
And his dreads flying everywhere.
Yeah. Kelly gonna get busy. That's my guy.
Now, what about Sean Showtime Charleston?
Oh, Showtime is
co-main event.
The co-main event. Showtime is the future.
You say he the future.
Showtime is the future, man. I'm a believer. Showtime stopped the undefeated fighter's last fight. Super exciting. I mean, the weigh-in with him is just amazing. You know, coming with a suit, glasses on,
the whole nine.
Go to the fight, and it's just action-packed, man. I mean, these guys in a few months, a year, man, they're gonna be on a total different level. We got some of the best fighters in the world on this card, man.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, you know, how he comes to the weigh-ins and this type of stuff and that type of persona. How important is that for boxers to have that branding, to understand building a brand and having a brand around what you do?
You know, I'll say this. I'm gonna keep it real, man. For African American fighters, it's very important. Okay. You know, if you're not, you know, we have a tendency of we're always expected to be good at things like boxing. You know, like, you know, you call a promoter, you go, hey man, I got this guy, this black fighter, he's good. They're like, okay, yeah, there's a million, you know, good black fighters. But you say I have this white fighter that fights like a black guy. He's a talk of the town, you know, and other fighters from different areas, they have people really support them. If it's one fight, if it's two fights, they galvanize around them, and then they're their guy. It allows them to be bigger because it's really tickets to seats. You know, of sometimes, you know, we're like, okay, hit me up when you fight Floyd Mayweather. That's what we tell our guys. So, you know, we're getting them seen on every streaming platform, Apple, you know, Android, Roku TV. You can watch these great young talented fighters really, you know, blossom into something.
Wow. Now, it has been definitely a knockout episode in here today. Now you got a couple other big guys. It's Roberto. Is that Bully? White? Tell us a little bit about Roberto.
Main event.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the main event. I see he holding it. Which belt is that?
He has like an ABF belt.
Okay.
And he's fighting for something in May with the WBC. But Roberto Bully, like, that's our guy. He's a veteran, but he's coming to get busy. And you know what? He has a whole town coming out for him.
Oh yeah.
Roberto has 16 tables. His people have supported him. They bought over 16 tables. We're getting ready to go when we leave your show.
Okay.
We're going to rent more tables.
Wow.
Yeah, from the chair place. We're going to rent more tables. It's sold out. Yeah.
Man.
Thank God. It's a blessing.
Now, what does the future of the company look like? What's the future of Big Time Promotion?
The future of big time promotions is that, with our rapid growth, man, I expect this company to be on par with Premier Boxing Championships,
Okay.
Top Rank,
DAZN.
Matchroom, DAZN, all these other great promoters. I expect to be doing shows with them, having my fighters compete against them, and I want to be definitely one of the first fighters to be, there, a world champion from big time promotions, where I expect to be, you know, by next year, me, my sister,
Okay.
and then bringing up my brother and other great talented fighters. So the sky is the limit. I expect it to be an option, just like, hey, I want to fight, let me fight on big time, let me fight on BP Network. It's just like fighting on Showtime, or just like fighting on the zone. And listen, the thought sounds crazy, but listen, they all started somewhere.
Oh yeah.
They
definitely.
all started somewhere, and that's what I believe with the team we have.
Any of the big networks like Showtime, HBO, these bigger boxing networks, any of those start sniffing around yet, coming to you looking for some of your content?
The last show, remember when we left after December 12th?
Yeah.
The gym owner called us and said, one of the ESPN representatives was at the fight, and he was, who was those people that had the show here? Because they had the same equipment as us. And shout out to my son,
Yes.
Aaron Freeman II, A Free Flicks.
He's watching this too.
That production team. They came down, like we literally used our own vehicles, trucks, vans, and we drove down all the cameras, cranes, weights, and ESPN was like, I thought I was at an HBO show.
Man.
So we took very, very homage to that, because it wasn't like some homeboy hookup.
Right.
Like we get down here early. The fight is Saturday, but all of us starting from yesterday, and people are driving down now so we can put the whole team together.
Yeah.
And we got to set up. So it's a real production. Like,
wow.
We don't take it lightly. Like,
and it's such a blessing that that's your son, and so it's all in house, So it's like,
now, how much these type of events cost you guys? It's like, how much do y'all invest to make a boxing match successful?
Y'all wanna.
Man, it's you know what? It's tens of thousands, man. It's very expensive, but it's worth it, man. And the time seems like more. Like being here a week early and staying around the venue and bringing things in, and everybody's pretty much family at this point.
Okay.
So that's really the best thing. They all take pride in it, but it's a lot. I mean, we have what, like 40 rooms in the hotel.
40 rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real production. And with this equipment and everything, like my son has invested in himself as a Howard University senior. He has enough film equipment and cranes and boom mics. It's amazing.
Wow.
His son is the man. Like once we did our first show, man, it was nothing but just really good feedback. And you kind of hear streaming, you're like, how's this gonna be? And I come from the people I'm around are very blunt.
Okay.
So
I like that though.
Yeah.
They're very blunt. It hurts sometimes, but so I'm watching. I'm there on the show. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Everyone's here, celebrities, everybody. But then afterwards, I'm like, all right, what is my text message gonna look like? And everybody's like, yo, this was incredible, man. Y'all streaming on a different level, man.
Right.
This is amazing. And then other people wanting to work with us. And I'm just like looking at A2, man. I'm like, man, you are the angel. The way you made this.
Yeah,
happen.
no, really.
For real.
At the first show, I actually commentated on it, and so I had to like work with him. So he's, as he's doing the sound and stuff, and I'm like, I saw a whole different side. I'm like, oh, he's in his business mode right now. He was no games. He's like, you better start talking. I'm like, all right.
Now, what after boxing? Do you see yourself becoming a commentator or doing more in the boxing world, or you got other aspirations?
After boxing, I think that I will still feel fulfilled if I do anything in boxing still.
Okay.
Commentating, promoting, anything in the gym, like anything that's around the sport, I will still love it. So, through God, that's what I would like to do.
Wonderful.
Oh, well, I want to just keep climbing the weight classes, follow my mentor, my boxing idol, Zab, and become undisputed in at least one of these weight classes. And then go on to be one of the most dominant boxing promoters, one with the best relationship with the fighters.
Okay.
Building up my sister as, just the greatest female fighter. My brother as one of the most dominant fighters behind me, and it's a lot of these other fighters that I see. And then you eventually, man, I just want to like
a movie or two won't hurt.
a movie or two. Yeah. Do my own. Be in a movie. Yeah, be in my own body. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do everything. It's really crazy, but and
that's a beautiful thing.
Get into some politics or something, man. Be
Okay.
mayor of New York or something like
Good
that.
luck.
You
We got your back.
Why
y'all.
not, right?
We got your back.
Yeah,
It's like the one y'all got now fixing to be gone. So
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's next, Aaron?
Hey, only thing next is just to say thank you to everybody.
Mhm.
And we just honestly, out of having fun and doing all these things, we really just want to inspire, motivate, and lead.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
It's not just about money. It's not just about it's the passion and just trying to make sure things are better for the ones coming behind us. Because it was done for me, and I'm trying to do it for others. And we all just want to do that, man. Have fun with it and enjoy life.
Yeah, and I also just want to say, like, Aaron, me and Justin want to say, like, you have been,
thank you,
like, it. I don't even have words to describe it. Like, you've really been there for us. You've really, showed us, even when like you didn't have to do any of this stuff. You know what I mean? You didn't have to team up with us. You didn't have to, support us the way you do. So we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and like this is family forever.
I love y'all. I was happy to do it.
And that's the thing about him. He's happy doing everything. So it's just like you look.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, you're not used to seeing that in people.
They made me be a better person, a better business person, and just go harder.
He's a machine, man.
Yeah.
This guy, he gets an idea, you talk about something, and it's freaking done the next day.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, man, how did you even figure that out? And just having him, JJ, the whole BPE family, man, it's a movement. We're global now, so. And thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ too. Above all, man. Without him, none of this would be possible. And my man JJ.
Jay Jizzle.
Now,
for you and your platform.
Oh man, I appreciate y'all coming on. I had a blast today. If somebody wants to join the match this weekend, they want to get tickets, they want to see it. How can people support you guys and be a part of the event this weekend?
They can go to www.bpe.network
Okay.
or download the BPE Network app on all streaming platforms, or just come to the gym.
Yeah.
Champions Gym in Jonesboro, Tower Boulevard.
We'll all be there.
We all will be there.
Yep.
How much are the tickets?
$50 and $100.
$50 and $100. VIP. What I get with the VIP?
You can have whatever you want, brother.
For you VIP already.
You VIP already. You can have whatever you want, man. You're gonna have a great time. I know that.
Get there early. It's gonna be a lot of celebs in the building, man. A lot of energy. If you've not been to a boxing match, it is a crazy. It's nothing like it.
It's electric.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the one and only Aida Biggs, Justin Biggs, and Aaron Freeman, Big Time Promotion, and the president JJ, all in the house with me today. Y'all stay tuned. Coming up, I have my friends from Silicon Valley, Blacks in Tech. We'll be getting started with that in about 2 or 3 minutes. Give me a second. We'll be right back.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
If you want to be fine, take care of your spine. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
March is Women's History Month, and at the Real 1100, we'll be celebrating contributions to history, culture, and society all month long. Today, we honor Basketball Hall of Famer Lynette Woodard. After being named a four-time All-American at Kansas, Woodard played in Italy and then won a gold medal with the U.S. women's basketball team in the 1984 Olympics. In 1985, she became the first woman to play for the Harlem Globetrotters. She was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2004. Stay tuned as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month throughout March.
Or just 6. The staff here at Real 1100 AM would like to encourage you to social distance yourselves. While you may feel disconnected, you can always connect with us at real1100.com. So remain at a safe distance. Call, text, or email a friend and tell them to join you at real1100.com.
You are tuned into WWE Lakeville, AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
I just had to give y'all one more time for my second hour today. Joining me in studio all the way from Silicon Valley. Let me get my screams and all this stuff together. Visionary filmmaker. How you been, man?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm so blessed, man. I'm back in Atlanta. You know, I got my partners with me, man. We here, we working. I got my man Eric Young and my guy Roy Scott, man. He got tied up with some investors, man. He running late, but, you know, we excited to be in Atlanta, man. You know, it's a perfect time, man. Everything is beautiful. We got All-Star Weekend, man. You know, for the first time, for me, it's the first time of All-Star Weekend, so I'm excited, bro.
Man, we got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We got this big boxing match, too. You see all them boxers that walked them out of here.
Oh, yeah, I see them boys, man. I'm definitely going to tune in.
Oh, man. Well, Mr. Eric Young, it is a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about you, man, and the platform that you've created. I can't wait to get into it. Tell us a little bit about your background and tell us a little bit about what you got going on right now.
So I ain't start off being a tech dude. Initially, I was running the streets. Like, no, literally, like I used to hustle. And so I ended up going to school later. I transferred I got my AA degree, transferred to UCF, got my computer engineering degree, went to Houston.
Wow. Okay.
Became an engineer. I started filing patents. My homeboy started telling me, yo, you missed the patents from now on. And then after I got my fourth patent, the company made $25 million.
Wow.
Only gave me a couple of dollars. So I was just like, I'm
Been
out
there,
of here.
done that.
Yes, I was out of here. So I went to Silicon Valley and I started Audios.
Wow.
Of course, Audios is the first wireless cableless DJ speaker.
Wow. Now, tell me this, and this is really my big question for this hour. Do we really need to still make a big deal out of being Black in this field? Because, and let me tell you this, I feel like at this point, we over everything. You know, we in all the sports, we in all the industries, we're all over everything. Is it still necessary for us to make this point of talking about being Black in this industry?
Absolutely. So for people who don't know, only 3% of all investment goes to minorities, women, or LGBTQ. If you're talking about Black, that's 1%.
Okay.
So the analogy I give people, if you was in aboard that flight, Delta, and they told you it was a 99% chance the plane was going to crash, would you board it? Is that something to talk about? Because that's what the odds we're against. Everybody who come there, you know there's a 99% chance that if you walk in this meeting, it's going to be a no. So absolutely, we need to talk about it because only the 1% is getting that investment.
Wow. Bonzel?
I think we need more access in a way where it's the movement. I think when we look at sports and we look at the celebrity culture and we look at people we admire, we see them in this particular light. And we don't see engineers in this particular light. We don't see software developers as celebrities because it never was a thing for them. Like they had their head down, they were building companies, the entrepreneurs in the tech world, you know, these are serious people, serious thinkers, serious builders. And so to marry, seeing is believing. I think that we in a space at this point now where enough of us are talking about it. We see what's going on around the country. So it's not new, and it hasn't been new for a long time. I think it's been, we was there the whole time. So if you go to Silicon Valley, you will see some of our inventors and some of the, we started out just like everybody else. A lot of times we wasn't getting the visibility because sometimes we wasn't getting the credit and we were kind of behind the scenes. So I think we're moving in front of like we're being pushed out now so people can see us, and it's being done deliberate. Like we're doing it ourselves. So I think more of us, they still working, they still building. If you go around Atlanta right now, it's numerous companies and numerous tech founders, and they're not looking for this. They're not looking to come on radio and talk about what they're doing because they working, they building. So the ecosystem is being built. But I do think it's people out here that needs to tell the stories. And that's what drove me to focus on telling this story.
Wow. Now, talk about and it's powerful. And I'm glad that was a great answer to the question. It really was. But talk about what that looks like. Being black in this obviously white dominated field. Most of all of your major companies now, your Twitters of the world, your Facebooks, all this stuff is pretty much white owned companies. What does that feel like for a young developer or a young creator? Like, what does that feel like for you when you are starting to bring your ideas together and try to bring something new to the marketplace? Do you kind of feel defeated already, or like what is your experience like?
That's what I was saying. If you understand the cards you was dealt, if you was gambling and you got a bad hand, you know what you up against. And so that's what I feel like. I feel like somebody that's up against the odds, but it's okay. How I see it, you're gonna lay down and wear it, or you finna handle your business.
Wow.
So for me, it's I have a mission. So my goal is to build audios and get the investors a 10x return. So that'll give me an A+ in Silicon Valley. I feel like for me, I want to be one of the first ones, that first group who had that Zuckerberg experience,
Okay.
had that Elon Musk experience, and we create a new way, a new wave. Right now we got entertainment and sports, but the tech bag is the real bag.
Oh yeah.
The tech bag is the $1 billion bag. So why legits in the hood ain't thinking about that? That ain't even on the menu right now.
Wow.
That's where the real money at. It don't go nowhere. I could tear my ACL and the bag still coming. So that's all. I mean, that's how I see it. I'm not really concerned about the odds because the hand was dealt before I was born.
Now, why do you think that is with us? Is it one of those type things that it's just not something that we were kind of pushed to do when we were young, or is it one of those type things that it's just so new? Because I mean, I grew up playing with computers. I grew up in the '80s. I was breaking them down. I was taking all the stuff out of them and all this type of stuff. So I mean, why do you think it's not?
Because because being smart is corny. You feel me?
Okay.
And that's just the truth. And so, but the reality is what I learned now that I done had a lot of success is a chick. I'm talking to the young dudes. A chick gonna like you because she like you. It's okay to be smart. And so I think that's just what it was for us. It was for
Okay.
me when I was growing up. I can only speak for my circle. It was lame to be smart.
Wow. Moselle?
I think we've always had this generational divide when it comes to when we catch up. Like, I think the hip hop generation and the millennium generation, we see tech different. So we see the opportunities that maybe our parents didn't see. My mom retired from Amtrak and her dream was to be a secretary. And that's what she saw. Like,
Okay.
My dad wanted to work for Amtrak. That's what he saw. Like his uncle worked for Amtrak. And so for my generation, we saw, Jordan, LL Cool J,
Yeah.
and certain people that Eddie Murphy, we saw certain So I just think that we didn't see this successful creator that was building a company that was centered around technology. And I remember Black Planet with Omar, and Omar was ahead of his time. So I feel like now we're catching up. Like we're gonna catch up, and I think we're gonna surpass where we are currently. We're gonna surpass that, because I think in our culture we always understand that, okay, now it's time for us to play catch up because we're so far behind in technology. And we're not really behind in the sense where we're looking at the money, but I think that same success can happen for anybody. I mean, you look at some companies coming out of Atlanta, and there's a lot of successful companies around the country right now. So I think that we can have that same kind of run, that same kind of success over a period of time. But I think that we need to understand what our strength is in this new tech ecosystem.
You know, one of the biggest things that kind of bothered me is just the simple fact of, they having conversations, or you got people, Elon Musk launching rockets into space. They building the future in space, and we still worried about getting beat up by the police and getting shot and killed by the police. It's just one of those type things. It's unfair to us, and it's just a hard reality, man.
So that's why I go back to it. What are you gonna do about it? Because it's not gonna change, right? Are you gonna allow the bully to bully you? Are you gonna allow the odds to define you?
Okay.
Or are you gonna make it happen? Because we can make it happen. We just gotta link together. One of the reasons I came to Atlanta, it was locked down in Cali, but also I was gonna do my pilot in Atlanta because what I experienced in Atlanta is that we do come together more so than a lot of people want to give us credit for doing.
Oh yeah.
I'm here because of people connecting me. I've only been in the city like 3 months and I'm already on a show. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just we have to rely on ourselves. Man up, basically what I'm saying.
Wow.
I think there's a very collaborative spirit in Atlanta, and I think that
Absolutely.
As a culture, the tech community here is unapologetically Black, and I feel like the network that I see here will, slowly build and quietly build. And they're not looking at Silicon Valley as the answer, or they're not looking at any other part of the country. They have their own culture being built. It's well connected. I think when the industries exchange the powers, where a Tyler Perry is investing in tech, and the Coach K is investing in tech, and the entertainment, the Ludas and the Jeezys and the entertainment music infrastructure is investing in tech. Then we're going to see this dynamic where this music tech and this media tech and this collaborative technology culture, and we start thinking about building our own platforms like the Clubhouses of the world.
Okay.
See how big we made Clubhouse as a culture. The culture jumped on Clubhouse and it just went crazy. We built that valuation to what it is today. And so I just think that over time, a lot of great things are gonna happen, in Atlanta and in other parts of the country, because but I feel like Atlanta's a hub. Atlanta is the Black tech mecca. When I thought about Atlanta and wanting to create a story, we all met. I met you, Kevin.
Yep.
I met Eric at Atlanta Black Tech Week.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it there. I saw this population. I saw these people, but it was no cameras. It was no filmmakers there with recording this, capturing this, and that's when that light bulb came.
Well, let me jump in real quick. The Atlanta Business Journal was the Black media
in
the house.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we did not have our cameras just yet, but we were the only media company covering. And I'm still telling this story of Black tech because I love it. It is my passion. I love technology. I dabble in it. I play in it. I code. Everything you can think of. So, nah, man. We definitely are in it. I don't know about nobody else.
Okay.
Some of y'all slipping out there.
Okay. So, I got a question for you, Kevin, man. I've seen you work real hard and grow, and you know, you doing a lot, man. What inspires you, man?
Me personally, it's truly I enjoy what I do. Number one, I love code. I love web design. I love development. I love the internet, just being online, this type of thing. Because I feel like it's just that one place where we finally get a fair shot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
it's that one level playing field.
Yeah.
Nobody cares whether you white, black on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's that beautiful piece of it. And then the other thing is freedom. We're not really free in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't care whether you white, you black, whatever. You're not free in this world.
Right.
And you only gonna be free once you get to a certain amount.
Mhm.
Let's be honest. You ain't free to say what you want to say.
Mhm.
You ain't free to go where you want to go and live how you want to live until you get that amount. So, that is really my driving force, is that freedom, seeing other people having this just unimaginable life. I mean, look at people like Elon Musk. Look at people like Richard Branson and the Tony Robbins of this world and this type of stuff. You can have that life too. You just gotta get off your butt and go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing stopping you.
And that's what I was saying. Like, what are you gonna do about it? That's the same. You have to. If you want that lifestyle, you got to take it.
Eric built some very different type of hardware for the music industry, and he came to Atlanta to position himself as a young black innovator and an inventor. And I want him to talk a little bit more about some of the things that he's built and what his plans is for his company, because I was inspired by him when I met him in Silicon Valley in San Francisco, and I stayed in contact with him. Somebody brought him, and they introduced himself to me, and I'm like, we find out we from Florida, and I stayed in contact with him and said, hey man, when you come to Cali, he was coming to Cali to meet somebody at Blavity, and I'm like, look, let me know when you're in the city, when you're in Atlanta, let me know, because I want to help you and support you. And I seen him build it. He raising money. Same with Roy. I seen Roy build it. He raising funds, and they inspire me because they got this mentality that we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to create this. We got to build this. And they're doing it by any means necessary. So I would love for him to express what he's built, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to build something from nothing.
Oh, we definitely gonna get into that audios platform. I definitely want to hear more about that. One thing I would like to, because I know we got a lot of young techpreneurs out there listening to the show today because of you guys. What is that investment like? What is it like going through that whole thing of trying to get your company funded, trying to get investments for your company, and starting that process?
So yeah, it's extremely difficult. Like I said, like I give people an analogy, because your perception is going to define your behavior. When you understand that this plane is going to crash, then you get your emotions out of it, because you know that it's going to be a no.
Wow.
It's going to be a no every single meeting you have. They're going to shoot you. They're going to be talking real nice. But when you leave that meeting, they're not going to reply to your emails. This is how the game go, but it's a rite of passage. So I got some real famous investors. The creator Guitar Hero invested in it.
Wow.
And then I got Andy Radcliffe. So Andy Radcliffe, I don't want to count the man pockets, but him and his four homeboys, it's four of them. They own 12% of Uber, and they own 22% of eBay. So we talking B's behind their name.
Wow.
So Andy, and also the whole Silicon Valley following him and his buddies. I said that to say, even with that type of tutelage, I can't overcome and join that 1%. So for the young guys that want to do it, you have to take that approach that I got to focus on making it happen on my own. Start off out the gate, understanding that it's a no. And in conclusion, when you do that, you'll start focusing on revenue. And that's what people invest in anyway. When I see you making money and your money keep increasing month over month, then I want to jump in on that ride, just like we jumping in on Bitcoin right now.
Now, tell me this. How much of the process, as you went through it, that you found? Because I find being in business, being an entrepreneur myself, a lot of times some things happen to everybody. Some things is just the process of building a business. but a lot of people might say, "Oh, this happened to me because I'm black," and this type of stuff. What did you find in that process? How much of it was because you were black, and then how much of it
I
was
got
just thought process?
So I got receipts. So shout out to some of my early investors, Michael Bourne and then Alkrim Nasir. So as I was going through the process, and so now I got these people who done built billion-dollar companies, my mentors. I'm Daniel's son, they Mr. Miyagi. So when we're going through the process and we getting these no's, saying no to me is really saying no to them.
Wow.
Right? Mr. Miyagi told Daniel's son how to kick. So what I learned and what we verified, I started saying, yo, show me the receipts. When we can't get these meetings, give me these receipts. So we started getting hidden emails, and it was literally because I was black. And then so some of my investors had to apologize, like, man, I apologize. I see that this was really about your race. They'll say all of this stuff about the company, the problem. You see, I got the product built, but then they'll throw in something about me personally, where it was me. And then I can't give you complete details. It was one event where we set up a meeting with some extremely high level VCs. I pitched, and the whole purpose was to see what I was doing wrong. And when in the meeting, they was like, "Wow, this thing actually works. We ain't never had nobody come in and the product already working. Your slide deck is 100." I got my notepad out, like, "Okay, tell me what I'm doing wrong." That's like, you ain't do nothing wrong. To keep the story short, they said they told me face to face, it's cause you black. This was face to face. It was so when they told me that, I felt amazing. I had a great day because it was validation that it was nothing that I was doing wrong. So I didn't take it like another person would take it. I don't know if I went to Roof Chris that day, but I was feeling good because now that took a load off my back, and I knew that I was ready. Now I knew that, oh, all right, I'm doing it straight. I just got to go get the bag from somebody else. Bank of America ain't lending right now.
That's true.
So that's what I was saying. So it's definitely a race. I have receipts.
Wow.
I can prove it in my case at least.
Now, Vonzel, you've been out there in the Silicon Valley area, following just all kind of techpreneurs and young guys. What is it from your view? What do you see?
Well, my view is from two parts of the country. So I fly to California and I fly back to Atlanta. And I think that Atlanta has this relatability in the culture that gives you this power network and this system that works where we collaborate. In California, it's a little bit more isolated. It's a little bit more where you got to be ushered in. Um, it's about, who you actually know and how they vouch for you.
Okay.
And I think when we go to Silicon Valley, we not going to build billion-dollar companies. So we not going there boldly. We're going, to work for companies. We're going with resumes in hand. We're going to look for a mentor. We're going to ask somebody to give us the game. So we don't come already with the game saying, hey, I'm out here to compete. I'm building $1 billion company. I'm here to take over some industries. I'm here to steal your employees. I'm finna overthrow, we're not coming out there like that. We're not coming out as confident. So we go in and we're not treated that way. One of the things I love about Arlen Hamilton is that she had a different approach as a VC when she was out in the Bay and in Silicon Valley. And I think, when I look at a lot of other tech entrepreneurs out there, I just think that, I got a nickname, Silicon Gangster. When I create a company, I plan to not ask for no one's permission. I ask for forgiveness before I ask for permission. And so I just think we got to become a lot more bolder. We gotta be thinking bigger. They don't think we think big enough to even come have an ask for $1 billion.
And that was gonna be my next question to you, because the thing that you said, we go with resumes in hand, but we're not going out there thinking about building $1 billion company or $1 billion
or a $10 billion company.
Why is that?
I just think
because
it's worldview. It's worldview. A lot of times the education system didn't prepare us. I was looking at the Bill Gates. I do a lot of documentary work in terms of just studying, and I was looking at the Bill Gates documentary.
Okay.
And as kids, they was reading Fortune. They was reading Forbes as kids. and they had computer labs to go to as kids.
Wow.
And in their, in the little collective of young white boys, they had this system where they was thinking about and their parents. So their parents was giving them the type of knowledge base where generational wealth already come to you. You're going to be prepared to be a major person in this industry, in this world. And so our parents are thinking about survival. A lot of our parents are coming from, environments where they got to just pay the bills and they don't have the access to build a lab or have a library. I had to get a library on my own as an adult. It wasn't a library where I could read about billionaires. I had to find out about billionaires in my 20s. And so when I started reading Forbes and I started reading Fast Company and all of these magazines, my worldview changed. When I left and went to Africa and went to Dubai, my worldview changed. I saw the world from a different perspective. So I think that our worldview, not to say that it's limited, is like we're not dreaming that big. Like if we're not thinking about creating a search engine that can compete with Amazon, because we don't think we got the power to do that. Like, who's going to support?
Or the smarts.
Yeah. And so who's going to support a company if a black man built the search engine? You think 100 million people are going to come and can we build to that magnitude?
Also speaking, because I'm an engineer, like I understand when you first graduate and if you was broke, because I had to, I say tear down and build up. So when I stopped doing my thing on the streets, I was broke. I was working a normal job. So when I graduate and they telling me you finna make X thousands, I'm like, yes, I'm tired of being broke. So or the average dude who don't got the support, you ain't finna be at home with your mama. So I can't start the startup right now. I'm broke, bro. I just want a little relief. I done did these 4 years in college, these 5 years. Let me just get this paycheck. So I think that's another reason why we be handing out resumes. We want some relief. But somebody else, some of my other non black friends, they can do the startup at home gracefully. There's no pressure. You know what I'm saying? They can do the startup at home gracefully. It's no pressure.
Wow. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dig into Adios. We're going to talk about the app. We're going to talk about all the things that it does and everything that you're about to bring to the marketplace. We'll be back with this two revolutionary young black men from Silicon Valley. We'll be right back.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
Auto accident, wellness care, slip and fall. We take care of it all. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
Yeah, that meeting when they told me because I was black.
Back right here on the number one rated business show. Back in the conversation. Eric, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying on the break we were just talking about how wild that meeting was.
I got you. So tell us about the app that you got, Adios. First of all, where did the idea come from and what is it?
So Adios is the first fully cableless DJ speaker. So if you got a wedding or you got a party, then Adios is a good fit. It's the first cableless DJ speaker for events, venues, and any type of gathering.
Okay.
And so what's different is it doesn't use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi.
What?
DJ speakers were never wireless because Bluetooth doesn't work. You have to connect one phone to one speaker. So you get what I'm saying? You can't have a Bluetooth concert. And so that's what Audios is bringing to the game. From an app standpoint,
Hold up though, because I'm intrigued. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth.
yeah, it doesn't require.
How's it connect?
So the speakers build their own wireless network autonomously. So we got 2 patents granted, 1 patent pending, and that's what the patents are about. The speakers build their own network, they connect to each other.
Okay.
So for the DJs out there, you still can use your cables. You can still plug in the XLR cable. And if someone wanted to connect with Bluetooth, they can. We just don't recommend it because it's not that great.
Okay. The audio quality.
The audio quality and just being able to connect in general. Now, in regard, so we're going to launch in Atlanta. And so anybody that's in that industry, your event planner or whatever, definitely be looking out for us. Go on the website, audios.com, AUDIOS, and leave your information. Now, the app is how we're going to, so there's 2 types of businesses. There's businesses that get cash, and then there's businesses that can scale to $1 billion.
What's the difference?
So we're going to initially start with rentals.
Okay.
Right, rental is going to allow us to keep low inventory, but speakers rent for $100 a day. You got to rent them in twos.
Now you talking about when you talking about these big live event speakers. You ain't talking about little home pod.
No,
you talking about
no,
the big 15-inch woofers and
the 12-inch woofers. What you'll see at a nightclub, a sports bar, you'll see at a concert. What the DJ bring to your wedding.
Okay.
And so that has about. We probably can do 400 million a year off those DJ speakers.
Wow.
And then we're going to branch out into other products and bring it into your home. But the app is where the $1 billion businesses are because you can scale globally with the app. And so we're going to do the pilot for the app here in Atlanta. And I can't give all of the details, but if people sign up, they'll be like the early adopters. That means that's like the first person to try out the product and stuff.
Wow. I want to be an early adopter. I can be a beta tester.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, anybody, just hit us up. We want as many people as possible.
Now, what is the app going to allow people to do, or can we talk about that?
Yeah. So because we're not too far from being able to launch it. So the app is going to facilitate rentals. So the idea is that my hypothesis. So in Silicon Valley, I learned from the people the thought leaders. So you have a hypothesis and then you got to test it. Okay. Anybody that's moving off emotion, you should stop listening to them. You only move off data. So we have like 6 or 7 hypotheses of how the app can work. So one of our hypotheses is that the average person got an event. You like, man, I want to throw a party this Friday. You're going to go on Audios, the Audios app, and say the party started at 1 and end at 5. Somebody going to come, drop off the speakers, set it up, and then they're going to come pick it up at the end of the event. So that's one of my growth hypotheses.
So it's kind of like the bird rental type deal that you got in each city. You got so many of these in a certain place, and somebody can easily disperse them. Or
yeah. That's what's gonna happen in Atlanta. It's called a pilot because we're gonna start figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
Okay.
We know that the rental business has been established for 40, 50 years, but this new way of doing it, because the speakers are wireless, we can do it because all you have to do to use audio is just put the speaker where you want it and press the power button.
Wow. So
anybody can set up like a professional. As long as you can pick the speaker up, you can set it up like a professional.
Wow. Now, all right. So we see that's one way. Now you said scaling to $1 billion versus a cash flow type business. What is the difference there?
So both businesses generate revenue, but the rental business is 100%. You're limited in how you can scale because you have to have that physical presence, so to speak. But when you're thinking about like some of these other apps, you don't have to have a physical presence there, so you can expand globally really quickly. So that's like the fun. That's how we're looking at it in tech. So investors typically stay away from businesses that are cash heavy.
Okay.
That can't scale quickly. Everything is about scaling. When I talk to Guitar Hero, we talking about how we're going to scale your business globally.
Wow.
They invest in so that we can scale and hit that $1 billion number. They're not investing to make millions because they've been past millions.
Okay. Yeah. Now, when you start having these type of conversations, and when we start talking, you like numbers like billions of dollars and how do we scale globally and this type of stuff, what are some of the first things that you need to start thinking about? What makes it easier to scale globally versus that cash business?
Software is more sexy than hardware. Hardware requires. That's why I'm investing. Hardware requires. I mean, raising money for you to go. It's like transactional on the streets. I gotta go get some work and get off the work.
Okay.
But software it's just generating cash. I don't have to invest anything. I just gotta pay for developers. You see how that's like different?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But with the hardware, with my speakers, now I got to get them shipped to China. I got to get them shipped to Europe. I got to get them shipped to South America. It's just a lot more overhead when you're trying to deal with a cash business. But with a software business, all I need to do is advertise on Facebook and you download the app.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's easier to scale
Oh
because
yeah.
I don't have to deal with logistics.
Now, we see a lot of these software companies nowadays coming out. I think Asana, the one of the original co-founders from Facebook, that was one of the last ones that IPO'd. I think it came out. It did about $25 or so a share, and I think it's actually doing pretty well right now. What? Let's see. How can we formulate this the right way? So many of these things nowadays, it just seemed like it's one copy of another thing. Like Asana, I'm not down in their software. It's good software. It's productivity, but it just seems like the same thing I've seen, 15 other times. What makes the difference when you go to the stock market, or what makes the difference with a lot of these type of?
I understand. Oh, so yeah. So in Silicon Valley, there's a saying. It's all about execution. So all three of us can have the same idea. It's who executes the best. And so that person who finds product market fit is a major metric. When you go into those meetings, if you don't even understand it or you're not presenting it indirectly that you have product market fit, it's going to be a no. So
Okay.
product market fit is one major indication of success. It doesn't guarantee it. So some of those companies may not have done their due diligence to get to that point.
Wow.
This is a term that most people in Silicon Valley learn very early on.
Product market fit.
Yeah. So Andy Radcliffe, he created that term. So
Wow.
that's my mentor, and we all go by that because it's shown statistically. It's shown that when you get product market fit, Clubhouse has product market fit.
Okay.
People are telling each other about the app organically. So Clubhouse doesn't have to spend any money on marketing anymore. The app is growing organically.
Wow.
And it's solving a problem for whoever joins that platform. Somebody told me to get on Clubhouse because there were investors on there.
Okay.
Somebody might tell you to go on there because you're in the music industry. It's solving problems for people. That's product market fit, and people are letting other people know about it.
Wow. Now, Vonzel, joining you back to the conversation. Now you're out there amongst this world. You see so many of these young app developers and these young techpreneurs. Tell me how can I put this the right way? Are you inspired by what you see at this point? Do you think we are past this state, or we're starting to get past this state of being having to be so intentional about being black in a field?
That's a good question. I like good questions.
It was hard to get that one out. I was trying to get to it,
I think just being in America and being black is something that we can't get around. I think that it comes with the territory of where the history has given us. But I do think that a lot of great innovators have come from our culture. I think that the more we get in tune with our true story and who we are, we'll realize that we've been engineers, we've been designers, we've been scientists, we've been creators. And I think that the more we start to think about how do we build for real, seriously, and compete and, not take this journey lightly. I think that even if we undercut or even if we are undermined, I still feel like as strong as we are, look at hip hop. Look at hip hop as a industry. They said hip hop wouldn't be more than 5 years old, and it's turning 50 in the next few years. And so I do think because our culture, we won't be stopped. Like we will continue. It's going to be some breakthroughs across the board. And I think that, you got some people who may play that card, and you got some people who feel like they've already been dealt that card, so they don't got to continue to play that hand. And so the way I look at it is I've already been dealt that card. I don't
And
got to
that's
continue
how
to
I
play
feel
that
too.
here. And so, and me particularly, I'm representing the South. I'm representing, from I think global, but I act local. So I'm rocking with the ATL. We not trying to be Silicon Valley. We ain't trying to be the next Silicon Valley. For me, I just wanted to tell a story and create a conversation that would inspire young people to think about all these different aspects that I wanted to show them. If I was showing them the tech twins and they building a tech center around the corner in the neighborhood, and if I was showing them Joey Womack, this young brother who doing, incredible things in the social change making industry, and then you got, this phenomenal, Black woman leader, Jewel Burke Solomon. Like, she's incredible. Like, I've always like looked up to her as a young up and coming leader. And so I look at all of these different people around the country. I got from Black Girls Code, Kimberly, to, Angela Bennett out in LA, who sold New Me Accelerator, to, Marlon Nichols as a VC, to, Mike Ross, I just interviewed last week, who's an angel investor, to Andrea Miller, who's a STEM leader in the public school systems in Atlanta public schools. And so, these different aspects of, they have stories and value that you can look at people and inspire. Like, I just want to create that kind of inspiration that right in your neighborhood, there's an intelligent Black thinker that you can look up to. And so, as a inclusive, visionary filmmaker, storyteller, it's just about creating conversation.
Wow. Now, Eric, do you feel pressure on you because of you being Black in the position, being in that emerging, that next big guy coming out? Do you feel that pressure from being Black?
No, it's no pressure, because as long as you know what you're up against, like when you're in a relationship, sometimes people say, just tell me the truth. Allow me to decide if I still want to deal with you. It's the same thing. The statistics are out there. And so I decided I want to take this journey. I'm going to take that 1% chance that the plane won't crash. So there's no pressure for me. I made a conscious decision to pursue my dreams. Right. But what I think what you're asking though is, do I want to succeed so that the next generation? Absolutely.
Okay.
I absolutely want to succeed and create a new path, or maybe be an example and build that blueprint so other people can aspire to do tech, because tech gives us the ability to create jobs. I fantasize about being able to create jobs, maybe here in Atlanta or where I'm from in Florida. So but it's not pressure. It's just, I'm just pursuing my dream.
Wow. Now, how important is it? Because you made mention in the beginning, is that mentality? I'm gonna do this. How important is that mentality, and how hard is that on a daily basis when you're doing something as enormous as what you're doing and playing with numbers as big as what you're playing with?
Yeah, it's this is the hardest challenge I faced so far in my life. And running the streets, like I grew up on Paramount in West Orlando, and my dad has taught me, like, this was not a family business, but I was introduced to the streets from my family, right? So everything, I almost got killed a couple of times. I've been through a lot, but this is mentally difficult. This is as taxing as you worried about the police coming after you, or you worried about getting robbed or killed. It's on that level. Because you don't know when the next check gonna come. You always worried about being broke. I use my entire life savings. That's pressure. And then I can't go home to my mama. That's pressure in terms of how difficult and stressful it is. I don't know how to describe it and articulate, but like it is the most challenging thing. And unfortunately, most of the people I started off with, they gave up. It's a lot of founders gave up. So I just want people to know, like, this is nothing to play with. Like, don't waste people's time and don't waste investors' time.
Now, so many people hear about, you guys getting these just major cash investments into these tech companies, these app companies and stuff like that. What are the rules that come with that money? Is it I just got $25 million investment injection from this investor. Let's go ball, dog.
No,
Like
no.
what is the rules that come associated with that money so folks can understand that?
So usually they do due diligence on your corporation. So before they even invest, they've checked you out and made sure that your books are clean and everything is legit. So that's just a rite of passage. Then also, usually these investors, they want a board seat. So now they you have a corporation, they're gonna take a board seat so that they can participate in the decision making process. So there will be no, oh, let me pay myself 300 grand or let me go buy a Ferrari. No, that's not how it works. Like like you're making decisions as a group. I make decisions with Guitar Hero and Andy and my other advisors and my co-founder. So that's not gonna happen.
Wow. Now, what is that period for you when you can finally say, "Whew, I'm rich. I did it." When is that point?
So there's a difference between your net worth. I have a very high net worth, but in cash. It's just like in the rap industry. Your net worth might be through the roof, but how much liquid cash do you have in your pocket?
Okay.
So for me, when I say that, that's when we have, it's only two success. There's the only two ways to have a successful story. You either have an exit, meaning somebody acquires you. So in my case, Bose or JBL or something, or we have an IPO like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
Okay.
It's called a liquidity event. That means your net worth just got turned into cash. Somebody bought you at what you were worth, or you had an IPO, which means you're trading on the stock market. So your net worth just turned into cash. So that's when I'll be like, I made it.
That's when we get the Lambo.
And to then I'm eating bologna and sandwiches with ketchup on it.
Wow.
I don't feel the same way in terms of making. I don't think I ever make it personally. I think that, I go from telling stories to teaching in a college to working in some type of community center, and I always be working, and I'll never make it because it's a shot for me that I don't suppose to have. And so I really feel like this is a service. So this is a service for me. This really isn't, I don't work for years and years and years and haven't made any money because it's not about that. I probably will make some money to be able to pay back all of the people that supported me. But like he in the business to make money and innovate because that's the work that he in. For me, it's more about creating exposure and access and generating conversation and kind of pushing the culture forward. So for me, my name being visionary filmmaker is like I want to bring a vision to life that could probably outlive me and outlive my parents and outlive this generation and my kids' generation and my kids' generation. And so I see myself doing 5 more documentaries on different topics that will impact the world. This is impact producing at its best.
Wow. So when is the project coming out?
The project could be all right. So we got the first documentary is already done. We got all of the content for it. It's called Atlanta Black Tech Mecca, and Atlanta Black Tech Mecca is a short documentary. It's featuring different aspects of the tech industry in Atlanta. It's a little bit of my journey around the country, and this first part is me proving myself. I had to prove, a lot of times you come in and you're doing something for the first time, you got to prove yourself to an industry for them to see if you valuable or not to do it on a major scale. To do it on a major scale is Atlanta Black Tech Mecca is like my first major scale solo independent. To go and work with either Netflix or Amazon, because these are two people that I'm in conversation with right now. That's Tech in Black and White. And Tech in Black and White is a 3-part docuseries dealing with diversity, inclusion, and relatability in 3 parts. So I want to, give you some insight on diversity in part 1, give you some insight on inclusion and what that means in part 2, and then this solution to diversity and inclusion is relatability. This is what we found around culture and why Atlanta is important. And so that's a 3-part docuseries. Most likely it'll be on Amazon. If not, it'll be on Netflix.
Wow, man. Well, we are fastly approaching the end of this wonderful special edition of the #1 rated business show. Eric, tell us a little bit, just real quickly, give us your last few nuggets. Share something with us, these young techpreneurs out here that want to follow in your footsteps and want to, have the same success. And can we get Adios yet?
So Adios, we should be shipping late, maybe early third quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, so we raising money right now. So the investment, anybody can invest for $100. It's called crowdfunding. You can go to Republic. So republic.co/audios, AUDIOS. You sign up and it's just like sending money to PayPal or Zelle or whatnot. So anybody can invest. My advice to the younger generations is that you already are able. If I was able to switch it up and change my life, then you are also able. And a lot of the stuff that I'm speaking specifically to people with a similar background as me, a lot of the skills that you learn on the streets directly apply to Silicon Valley.
Wow.
So you already have your degree. You just gotta use it and believe in yourself. So the number one thing you need to get over the hump is absolute 1000% belief in yourself.
Wow.
Nobody's gonna believe in you. Nobody's gonna support you until you do it first. You have to do that.
Man, that is, I tell folks all the time, I've been in business now for almost 10 years, and I think that one intangible thing, more so than anything, that pushes success and drives people to that major success, is that belief. I'm so with you on that, man, and I'm so honored to meet you here today. Vonzel, what's your last words, man? We did this all because of you, man.
My last words is, I think the future is right now.
Okay.
We have an incredible opportunity to create greatness if we be selfless in the approach, where, it's a collective thing and we inspire each other, even in competition if we have to. But we got to understand that we competing on a major scale now. The black race is being, watched in a way where, and even challenged in a way where we got to prove ourselves on numerous levels. And in the tech industry, I really feel like this is our time. And I think that we can't drop the ball. We got to get to the finish line. We got to, think about the future. We got to be visionary. And I think we got to be thinking 20 years, 30 years, and 50 years down the road. I'm looking at 25-year run in place right now. I'm close to 10 on a 10. I'm on a 10-year plan, and I'm working on this 15-year plan. And so it's 25 years worth of work. So I'm not looking for the success to come today. I'm looking for a change to come down the line, and then to pass the torch back to somebody else that continue to run that race. So I really feel like we got to be thinking from a visionary perspective.
Wow. That's powerful, man. Thank y'all so much for coming and being a part of the show today.
Last words for you, Kevin.
For the special edition. My last words, I just want everybody, man, stop being afraid of it. Stop worrying about what folks gonna say about you. Stop worrying about everybody else's opinions. Stop being afraid to put that stuff out there, and stop trying to wait till it's perfect.
Absolutely.
I know so many people keep trying to get stuff perfect.
Absolutely.
I'm on iPhone 12. I don't know about y'all.
I'm on iPhone 12.
It obviously wasn't perfect the first time we put it out. But like I say, thank y'all so much for joining us today. It has been a special edition of the #1 rated business show. Thank you so much to Vonzel and the young founder, Eric. Thank y'all so much for joining us. I will be back next week. Same time, same place, and we are out.
Kids follow your lead. Help them stay healthy. Wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. And cover coughs and sneezes. Clean and disinfect the objects you touch often, like your phone, the remote, and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And if you're the one who's sick, stay home. This station is part of the Beasley Best Community of Caring, and we care about your family. For more info, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
March is Women's History Month, and at the Real 1100, we'll be celebrating contributions to history, culture, and society all month long. Today, we honor Basketball Hall of Famer Lynette Woodard. After being named a 4-time All-American at Kansas, Woodard played in Italy and then won a gold medal with the U.S. women's basketball team in the 1984 Olympics. In 1985, she became the first woman to play for the Harlem Globetrotters. She was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2004. Stay tuned as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month throughout